They can't reproduce on their own. Do you realize that? God didn't make the bananas you eat. We did.
Whatever. Bye.
Bye. Woo! Well, I mean, I realize that a lot of believers have fallen into the trap of Ray Comfort and Kirk Cameron and this fascinating argument about how the banana is the atheist nightmare.
But come on, Matt. It has a peel that indicates when it's ripe.
Yes.
And you know, it's curved to go toward the face.
Yes. Color-coded, you know.
Seriously, I can see how someone would find that convincing.
Yeah.
How to share your faith effectively and biblically, to be able to reason with people, learn to circumnavigate or go around the person's intellect.
You're a self-admitted, lying, thieving, blasphemous adulterer at heart, and you have to face God on Judgment Day whether you believe in Him or not. So here it is. If God judges you by the 10 Commandments on the Day of Judgment, will you be innocent or guilty? Will you go to heaven or hell? You say, I don't believe in hell. Don't say that. That's like me walking on a freeway, having a truck coming right at me and saying, I don't believe in trucks. My unbelief doesn't negate realities. Most Americans actually believe in the existence of God. We say, yeah, there is a little place called hell. That's reserved for Hitler and mass murderers. But realize this, God is so good, He's also going to punish rapists, adulterers, pedophiles, fornicators, blasphemers, hypocrites, and even thieves and liars. But the same God is rich in mercy. All you have to do to have the ultimate proof is cry out, God, I've violated your commandments. I've sinned against you. Jesus Christ died for me, rose again on the third day. And put your trust in Him as you trust a parachute. Thank you.
Brian, Sapient, and Kelly will tell us why they don't believe that God exists. Brian.
Thank you, Martin. Most of us know that 10 Commandments are in the Bible, so we probably should leave the building right now. The 10 Commandments were used wholly here as part of his proof. However, he brings up some points. He says that we see this building, we know there was a builder. We see a painting, we know there was a painter. He forgets that we can call the builder of this church. We can check New York City permit records. We can't call God to go visit his universe factory. We can go to the car factory, but can Ray take us to God's factory to watch creation in action? Ray also talks about how pedophiles and murderers and Hitler are all going to go to hell. However, Jesus said all sins should be forgiven of man except blasphemy of the Holy Spirit. So pedophiles, murderers, as long as you're Christian in prison, you can feel safe. If you truly believe this, and it's true, you will go to heaven. Now let me address the arguments that I was expecting from Ray, which he did bring up points of. He claims all creations must have a creator. There's just a huge gaping hole in this argument. It's so obvious, it really doesn't warrant an answer. But most simply put, if all creations need a creator, then what created God? Anti-scientists like Ray make claims of intelligent design, yet everywhere we look, we see the evidence of a system that wasn't intelligently designed. I have nipples and mammary glands. What contribution to mankind has religion delivered in the same time frame where science has contributed immeasurably? And is any contribution even remotely comparable? What contribution has religion given that atheists can't or haven't given? Atheists have given blood, donated money without threats of hell to the beneficiaries, fed the starving, built houses, and innumerable other acts of goodwill. Now, while I may seem harsh today, I assure you that outside of this setting, I, like most other atheists, are good and compassionate people. One doesn't need religion to be a good person, and religion doesn't make somebody a good person. Atheists are your doctors, teachers, firefighters, policemen, and war heroes. And if you're familiar with Ray's arguments, we have to deal with being told that we don't even exist. Atheism is merely the absence of belief in any God. We are all born as atheists. We must be taught to be theists.
This discomfort that people have with being different, some people embrace that difference. I didn't used to be one of those people, but there's something to be said about embracing who you are. And if somebody's not out as an atheist, for good reasons or bad reasons, it doesn't change who they are or what they believe. If, however, you are in the course of your hiding your beliefs, you are taking actions that are in opposition to your beliefs, actions that you think are not only wrong but harmful, then I encourage you to stop doing that.
It is interesting because we get a lot of letters from young people that want to out themselves.
Yeah.
And they ask, how should I do this? And one of the things I always ask them is that I'm like, first thing you need to ask yourself is, why do you want to come out? Even if it's just, I want to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm not being judgmental about it, but I always ask them to consider, what is it that you that you hope is going to change? Like, I want my mom to accept me as an atheist, but then in reality, she probably won't.
The idea that I'm going to come out as an atheist doesn't necessarily need to be, Mom, Dad, I'm an atheist. One thing is just to be yourself, and you might be surprised how long it takes before the religion conversation gets around to, do you actually believe in a God? Then you can just honestly say, no, I think the idea is kind of absurd or whatever.
You're an atheist. Give me a fucking break, Michael. All right, you know what? We need to start going to church every week. I've had it with it. Bullshit. You got yourself confirmed, and you said to the bishop.
Yeah, a lot can happen. You can think.
Or a lot can happen. All of a sudden, you can just quit believing in God?
Yeah.
All of a sudden, there is no God.
Yeah.
Well, let me tell you. You want to know there's no God? Then you're going to get absolutely nothing. Nothing for Christmas, because that's what Christmas is about. It's Jesus Christ. It is not okay.
Recently, an atheist sign poster near a nativity scene in the state capitol was stolen. Now the anti-religion group is fighting to replace it with a sign that reads, "Thou shalt not steal."
Oh yeah, you're an atheist, but let's use one of the 10 Commandments to prove our point. Joining us now is Michelle Malkin, syndicated columnist and Fox News contributor. All right, Michelle, you and I are of the same vein on this whole thing. I'm just so enraged by all these atheist displays and trying to push Jesus to the back seat.
I have to say some of my best friends are atheists, but I think probably the best thing we can do is I would advise some of the people of faith not to go stealing their signs.
Yeah, but Michelle, if you let them do that, then over time they will have the control. That's my point. If you don't stand up and fight for it, it might just disappear. I'm talking about Christianity.
You treat these people like trolls. I think making fun of them too and mockery is probably the second best solution.
Because, I mean, they're going to replace this sign with "Thou shalt not steal."
Right.
So use a 10 commandment. One of the 10 commandments to prove your point that you're an atheist?
Right.
That's a complete insult.
Yeah. Let's talk ACON.
Fabian?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi.
How can I help you?
I have a experience with an angel. It was pouring down rain, and I prayed. I said, "Saint Michael, please help me."
Okay.
And all of a sudden, the rain ceased.
So hold it.
That sounds like a break in the rain, though.
How long have you lived in Austin? That happens all the time. Why was that an angel? Did you see an angel?
Yes.
You saw an angel. Okay.
Yes.
What did it look like?
I envisioned an angel.
No. Did you see an angel? Was there one there?
Whenever we have a thunderstorm, it stops.
My tire needed air, and I'm not real good at mechanical things, and before I left the house, I said, "Please, God, please let there be somebody there that can show me how to put the air in my tire."
Okay.
I drove my car over to the Shell station, and there was a car.
Oh my gosh, there was somebody at the Shell station who knew how to put air in a tire?
There was a young man there, and he said, "Miss,
Are you serious,
can I
man?
help you?" And I said, "Would you please?"
I think she's messing with us.
Wait a minute. There was a beer
You
truck.
can't seriously believe there was a guy who knew how to put an air in your tire at a gas station, that was a miracle.
And I went in and I said, "I want to thank that young man. I want to give him some money, for putting the air in my tire." And they said, "There was nobody there." The beer guy, the beer truck said nobody was there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've had many experiences like that.
But we're going to go ahead and let you go. We've got other callers on the line.
All right.
Thanks a lot for calling.
Have a good evening.
You too.
If we're being accused of poking fun at people who we think